All right, so today I have Savannah, and Savannah's more of a special case. We actually met on a sales call. She was somewhat looking to invest in herself, a little timid about it, and really, I think she just lacked the belief in her. And I was able to kind of get her over the line. But not only that, we started to work together one on one, teaching her how to really sell herself. And she had a great following. She had brand deals. She was crushing it, but she could do so much better and she wasn't even aware. So the reason Savannah's here is because she is a killer that didn't even know it. And I think there's so many people out there that are in great positions or new positions and have the potential to do so much more, and they just don't for fear of the other side. And so Savannah's here today because I just want to dive in more and let you guys see what can come from just believing in you. So thank you so much, Savannah. I really appreciate you having you on here. Um, I'm just going to go straight into asking questions if that works for you, and we'll go from there.
Of course, let's do it.
All right, awesome. So, like I said, you had over 200,000 followers at the time of our call, which was about a year ago or so. So honestly, what was actually holding you back from going all in on yourself? Because you already had like a brand deal, you were doing a tiny bit of coaching. What held you back from going all in the first time?
I think ultimately it was a lack of confidence in myself and my abilities. The idea of coaching had been in my head for a long time, but I never felt like I was qualified. And I was constantly playing around with this question of like, why would people trust me to help them when there's so many other way more qualified people out there who have already established themselves as coaches and have a lot of experience under their belts. So I think the biggest thing was just a lack of confidence within myself that this was an industry I could actually thrive in. Um, Being someone who was kind of just starting out when there were a lot of other established coaches out there.
Yeah, I love that answer. That makes a ton of sense. And I think enough people should believe in themselves more, honestly. So, what was different about, I guess, our conversations that made you finally decide to invest in yourself? And just so everyone's aware, sorry, Savannah, she did cry on that call. She absolutely cried on the call. I didn't call her name, I swear, but she did. So, what was different about our conversation that helped you finally decide to invest in you?
I think honestly, what it came down to is I could tell just from our conversations that you believed in me and my potential and what I could do more than even I did. And I think having someone else truly believe in you helps you to believe more in yourself. And I think a lot of it came down to like imagining if you actually just gave it your all, if you actually put in 100% today, made the choice to say success is the only option, imagine where your life could be 6 months from now, a year from now. I never thought that I would be moving into my own apartment at 19 years old or having a six-figure business, that I started from my college dorm room. But I think it's just the fact that someone else believed in me so much that made me think, okay, this could actually be a reality for me.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you were crazy for not doing it already. I definitely remember that conversation. And yeah, she touched on a great point. And she literally, at 19, dropped out of a great college and went all in on her. And she could always go back, but she gets to focus all on her. She moved into a new place, lives her own life, does her own thing, pays her bills, and much more. And now she's like transitioning into even more. So who knows? You might actually work for her. But over the next year, you got your own place. You left college to pursue coaching full time. So, what changed internally for you during that period to go all in?
I think the biggest internal change was just fully believing in myself. I mean, I went from, I would text you after sales calls I didn't close, crying, or just thinking about all of the things I could have said, what I did wrong. And I think what was awesome about my partnership with you was you taught me how to look at everything as a way to do better or a learning opportunity. And so I started looking at failures or not closed calls as okay, how can I fix this issue in the future? What can I do better? And so I think what changed the most was just having more of a growth mindset and realizing that the more you practice and the more reps you get in, whether you close the sale or you don't, it all goes to teach you something and help you become better. And so, I mean, I used to physically shake before every sales call. I was so nervous. I was like doing jumping jacks in my room trying to prepare. I stuttered on every call. And I think after a while, after getting practice, feeling what it's like to be rejected and to experience failure, um, and also having some really good successful closes, you know what to expect. And I think it helped me come into calls with a lot more confidence. And at one point, I think I was closing like 85% of the calls that I went on. There was one week where I closed like 7 calls in a row, like every single one was a close. And so I think after that, it was kind of more of like, okay, I can do this. I know what to expect. I know I have the ability to close this sale. I know exactly what my structure should be without having to look at a script anymore. And I know that if I don't close this, I'm still going to learn something from
Yeah, no, that's a killer answer. It's such a good answer. I don't even have to ask you my last question. I was perfect. I remember getting text messages of like, just did this, just close this, just did this. And like, that brings me so much joy because,
it.
I absolutely believed in you. And I was like, I know she can do it. I know you can do it. And voice note after voice note, you could just hear the confidence piece by piece. And I absolutely remember the hot streak. That was like,
Yeah.
I want to say it was like in March, like 1 month in, and you just cranked it out. It was awesome. Awesome to see, awesome to be a part of. But I do still have one more question for you.
Mhm.
So, to all those individuals that, are on the fence, or maybe they were like, is this for me? Not just what I'm doing, but is sales in general the way to go? Like, I really like it, but I don't know kind of, should I do it? Should I not? What should I pursue? What about this? What about that? As someone who was on the fence for a while and, found a ton of success once you jumped into it,
Mhm.
what would you say to anybody listening that may feel the way you felt on that call a year ago?
I would say first thing that comes to mind is I can guarantee you there is a place for you in sales. I came in extremely timid, couldn't even talk to somebody on a call. And here I am a year later with an extremely successful business where, I can hop on calls with people, not have to look at a script, and it just kind of flows. And you find your own groove. And so um, I never thought I would be the person to get into sales. I had such a hard time just holding like a normal conversation on a sales call. But here I am. And so I think that is just a testament to, you can become good at something when you are putting consistent effort into it. Like for me, for the first 3 months of taking sales calls, I had a friend that I would hop on FaceTime with every single night, and we would run through a mock sales pitch. And I would do one every single day, and I'd tell him, act like you're this type of persona. This is the issue you're struggling with, and I'm gonna try and object, or I'm gonna try to handle this objection. And so every single night it was something I was really committed to improving on. And every single night I did these mock sales calls, and I think that's what helped me gain a lot of confidence as well. And so um, I think anybody wanting to get into sales, feeling fearful or feeling like maybe it's not for you, maybe that's your reality right now. But I can guarantee you that if this is an industry that you want to get into, you absolutely can, and there's absolutely a place for you.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's so great. I couldn't sum it up better myself. Like at the end of the day, I told you guys, like I have once a week coaching. It's going to be free. everything in this community is just an addition to the roles and opportunities that are there.
Mhm.
I want people to win. If this isn't apparent, I don't know what is. And honestly, I want to make sure that you do even better. And I want to get people onto your offer because I know you'd be a great person to work with and work for. So I really appreciate your time. I know that you have a lot of things in the works, and we're going to discuss that further so you can go further and do great things. And I am beyond excited to see what this next year does for you as opposed to what this first year did. So, Savannah, thank you so much for your time and just all the effort you put in on yourself so you could go win and, make me right. I love being right. But thank you, Savannah. I hope you have a great one. I can't wait to see you guys inside working for Savannah.